the folks in the office are going to be. What does that mean?
It's starting, like, they're
rolling, but not actually.
Ashley asked me if I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for her awesome show. Her show is cool and it's lots of fun, so get your popcorn ready, everyone. Who will she interview on her show today? The Jonas Brothers or Nick Lachey? It's the Awesome Ashley Show. The Awesome Ashley Show. The Awesome Ashley Show.
Hi, welcome to the Awesome Ashley Show. Today I have Mad Science on. Hi, TARYN, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. And her nickname is Lightning Lucy. So she's going to show us some experiments today. But how did you get involved in Mad Science?
Well, I've always had a love for science and working with kids. Mad Science of Maine is a program that works to get kids excited about science. And we work with ages 4 to 12 with our various programs that we have. And I've always really enjoyed working with children. And like I said, I've always loved science, so it seemed like a perfect fit to take over doing Mad Science programs.
How long has Mad Science been open?
Mad Science has been around, or Mad Science of Maine at least, has been around for 14 years. And I've been involved with Mad Science for the last 4 years as the co-owner and program director.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing it?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of fun. As you see, we've got a lot of really fun science equipment here today to show everybody at home some really cool science experiments. Our first and foremost, most important thing that we do is to have fun. That's what we want to do with kids, is have fun with science. It's one of my most favorite things in the world, and that's what we're all about, is having a good time.
Now, how did they come up with Mad Science? Was it already a name, or how did that come about?
So Mad Science was originally started by two twin brothers in Canada who started doing rocketry programs for kids in an after-school program setting. And their programs got bigger and more widespread. And eventually they decided to turn it into a franchise. So there's Mad Science all over the United States and Canada and also in other countries as well. But Mad Science of Maine is a locally owned program, and we tailor our programs to meet the needs of the community here in Maine.
That's awesome. How many programs do you have in Mad Science? Because I know you have a lot of camps.
Yeah, we do. We do summer camp programs. That's what we're busy getting ready for right now. But we also do after-school programs during the school year in about 30 plus different schools at a time. We do in-class workshops for kindergarten through 5th grade. We also do preschool workshops as well. We do science shows, assembly shows. We do Science Exploration Day programs and Science Night events. We do birthday parties.
Awesome.
So yeah, that kind of covers the scope of our programs, but they're all meant to be very hands-on and very inquiry-based. We want to involve kids in the learning process, so they will be, intimately involved, and they will get their hands on all of this really cool science stuff that we have to share.
What do you think is their favorite science experiment to do at Mad Science?
You know, we have so many different types of programs. It's hard to say what is their favorite, but I can tell you what one of my favorites is. We have a show called our Radical Reactions show, and we have an experiment called the Foam Factory, and it's basically a big explosion of foam. one of my other favorite experiments, which actually goes along with one of our camps if we want to kind of dive into some stuff that we're doing this summer, is a chemistry. We have a new camp that we're offering this summer called Reactions in Action, which I can show you a little bit about right here.
Awesome.
Our Reactions in Action camp is all about chemistry, and kids get to learn about chemical and physical change. They get to learn about polymers. They get their own laboratory set with a pair of amazing goggles and a really fun Mad Science lab coat to wear. And they get a full lab set with an Erlenmeyer flask, a graduated cylinder. They have some really great take-home projects. They get a syringe for dealing with liquids. So one of the experiments that we do in the Reactions in Action camp is called the chemical battery, or chemiluminescence. So in this boiling flask right here, I have some really dangerous chemicals. No, it's not really dangerous chemicals. But I have some water, and I have some luminol and some sodium perborate. So what I'm going to do here is show you a chemical version of a flashlight. That's basically what this is.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. So the different ingredients in this experiment represent different parts of a flashlight. So one part of the flashlight is connecting everything together in like a circuit. When you're sending electricity through a circuit. So the water connects everything together. There's a chemical in here called sodium perborate that acts as the battery, the electricity for everything. The luminol is the light bulb. And then finally, the last ingredient is bleach, which I'm going to add. And that's also part of the battery part. And when I put this in, we're going to see something glow. So it's really bright lights in here, but hopefully we can still see what's going on here. Did you see that? Isn't that cool? Look at that. Hopefully you guys are seeing this at home.
It turned all purple and yellow.
So we saw these bright purple lights. If we could turn out the lights, it would look even more spectacular. But we were able to see those bright purple lights light up inside there. And then with that chemical reaction, everything mixes together and it turns this dark yellow color afterwards.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was really fun.
How many camps do you have at Mad Science?
Well, we have 7 different camp themes, and this summer we have 40 different camps, weeks of camps scheduled throughout southern Maine, and we offer our camps in 20 different locations, all over southern Maine.
Now, are they all different science experiments, like spy and stuff like that?
Yes, yep. So just going back a little bit to our Reactions in Action camp, that's one activity that we do. Another activity that we do in Reactions in Action is making Mad Science slime. And the kids actually get to take this stuff home. So we use a few different ingredients to make Mad Science slime. Would you like to hold on to this and play with it? I'm going to give you a piece, and I'm going to hang on to a piece. So there's actually an indicator in here. If we were to mix this with some different things, it would actually change color.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. The kids go crazy over this. So, so there is tons of different hands-on activities that we do throughout our camps. One of our other camps that we have is our engineering camp. It's called Adventures in Engineering. And in the Adventures in Engineering camp, they get to make, again, it's all very hands-on. They get to make cool projects like this. This is a flag waver. And as you see, there are some gears in here, and there's some pulleys. They have to learn about simple machines. There's a whole day dedicated to simple machines in the Adventures in Engineering camp, and this is, their take-home project on that day. They also get to learn about Newton's laws of motion, and they get to learn about flying devices and Bernoulli's principle of airflow. This device right here, this is a Bernoulli demonstrator. So we have a flow of air coming out of this thing right here, and it's making this little disc here float in the air. So
awesome.
we talk about how airflow affects things and can make things float. So that's part of what we cover in Adventures in Engineering camp. There's also a day dedicated to rocketry, so the kids get to build different model rockets, and they get to launch them outside.
That's
we
cool.
also have a water bottle rocket that we launch, and everybody gets soaking wet, which is great to do in the summertime when it's hot. Another fun project
This one looks fun when you were setting it up before the show.
Yeah, this is a really fun one. This is a really great little airplane right here. This black part right here is connected to this little engine right here. And all we have to do is charge up the engine. And the kids get to make all different models of paper airplanes, if I can figure out how to, there we go. So they can make all different models of paper airplanes, and they can connect it to this thing and try out their different inventions to see which one is going to fly the best. So right now I'm just charging up the engine. Now it's going to keep it going. If we were outside, we could really fly this thing far because we'd have air currents to work with. But I'm going to give it a fly, and you might see a little bit. Whee! There it goes. It flew a little bit, and then it went on the floor. So, so that's a fun project that we did. I wonder if I should grab that because it's going to be making noise. Should I grab it, or should I just leave it there? What do you think?
You can just leave it there.
Okay, we'll just leave it. It'll die out at some point. Do you want to hear about our Eureka the Inventors Camp?
Awesome, yes.
Okay, great. So let's see. Our Eureka the Inventors Camp. Here is some information on our Eureka Camp. The Eureka Camp is all about inventions and learning about inventors throughout history. And if a child is someone who really likes to use their creativity to solve problems and try to come up with solutions and invent things, this is a great camp for those types of kids. And by the way, all of these camps that I'm talking about right now are great for ages 6 to 12. So for instance, in the Eureka Camp, the campers get to build this mousetrap car. So it's a mousetrap, but it's also connected to this car. So they get to, when you release it, hold on, when you release this thing, this will start to move, and it's going to send this car flying across the room.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so they can just keep, the great thing about this is they get to keep reusing it all day long, and they get to take it home, and they get to experiment with the best ways of using the mousetrap race car.
That's
so
cool.
That's a really fun take-home project.
And what's your new camp you told me about?
Oh, the new camp was the one I actually started talking about, which was the reactions in action one that we did all of the chemistry stuff in.
That's cool.
We have another new camp.
The pre-K one, right?
Yeah, the one for ages 4 and 5. We've gotten a lot of parents asking us, where are the programs for my younger children, for our preschool age kids. So we designed a camp called My First Lab, which is right here.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, so My First Lab, it's a little bit of everything because the younger kids, have shorter attention spans. So every day is a different topic. And it's a shorter camp. Most of our camps go all day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., but the preschool camp is just a morning program from 9 to 12. And we're offering that one in Portland for 3 different weeks out of the summer.
Awesome.
So in the preschool camp, we are doing a day all about space and rockets. And let's see, we have a day called Sea, Sand, and Surf, where they will get to explore life in the sea.
I was just going to ask you, what is this bottle?
I have this bottle here. It's inside are these little squids. And if I squeeze the bottle, let me turn it this way so we can actually see what's happening.
Nice.
If I squeeze the bottle, the squids will sink down. And this is all about air pressure and atmospheric pressure, as well as talking about creatures in the sea. But what happens when I squeeze the bottle is the air pressure inside the squid, which is actually called a Cartesian diver. It changes the air pressure inside, and it becomes more dense and heavy, and then it will sink to the bottom and then float back up. We actually have a really great hands-on take-home project that's a smaller version of this that the kids will get to make and take home with them. So
awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most popular camps out of all the camps you have?
I would say they're all a lot of fun and very popular, but one in particular that is quite popular is our robotics camp. Kids these days are going crazy over robotics. And our robotics camp is really unique, and we've put a lot of work into our program to have lots of different types of robots that kids can experiment with. A lot of people think that robotics is a really complicated subject matter, but we have developed a program that is very age appropriate for ages 7 to 12. You do have to be at least 7 years old to be a part of the robotics camp, but I brought a couple of robots with me here today.
Nice.
Here's a remote control device. It's a type of soccer robot, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is a really fun robot. We have all different types of robots. We have programmable robots, remote control robots, and we have automatons. And the campers also get to make a couple of different robots to take home with them at the end of the week. And I also brought another, this robot right here. It's called Little Bits, and there's all these little tiny parts that go along with this that kids can connect together, and each part represents different parts in a circuit, because you need to learn about circuitry in order to learn about robotics. So we can snap these different parts together, and then when we turn it on, it's going to make everything function. So I don't know if you can see that the light is lighting up there.
I see the light.
And there's a little motor
I
right
see the
here
light.
that is moving around. And then also the little fan that's dangling right there is moving. So kids can actually, there's I don't know, about 20 different parts to this, and they snap together, they're magnetic. So it's really easy for young kids to be able to experiment with different parts of this to make it do different things.
It's really cool that they can touch it too, like, you know, be able to do it be able to touch it and see how it works and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is this experiment down here with the ball, with the yellow ball?
This one right here. This experiment right here is a part of our Eureka, the Inventors Camp, which I was talking a little bit about when we were talking about the mousetrap car. So again, in the Eureka Camp, kids get to learn about different inventors, and one of those inventors they learn about is Rube Goldberg. I don't know if you've ever heard of Rube Goldberg. He was a really fascinating guy who was he was a cartoonist, an artist, he was a writer, and he was also an engineer. He went to school for engineering, but he discovered that his real love was cartooning. So he came up with all of these really crazy ideas for contraptions for accomplishing simple tasks, such as ringing a bell, or sharpening a pencil, or putting a golf ball into a hole, but by doing it with these crazy succession of events. So, for instance, let me show you an example of a simple Rube Goldberg type invention. So, what I am going to do, the simple task that we're going to accomplish is ringing this bell right here. But just ringing the bell is kind of boring, right? Yeah. So we want to be a little bit more creative, because that's what mad scientists do. We think of creative ways to do things. And so we have our bell, and we have a tube right here. We have a couple of clear plastic cups. We've got a marble. We have a fly swatter that says "pow," and we have a couple of hard drinking cups. So here's what I'm going to do to accomplish this task. Oh, there goes my cup. Let's see, I think I've got some extras in here. I always come prepared. All right. So I'm going to set this up like this. All right. So we've got the
Now
fly
the goal
swatter.
is to ring the bell, right?
Yes, the goal is to ring the bell, but we don't want to just ring the bell in one move. We want to have at least 3 moves in order to ring the bell. So if we were working with a group of kids, we would give the campers some parameters, like this is your challenge, ring the bell, and you have to have at least 3 successions of moves, if not more. And we'd have them work in groups with a whole bunch of supplies. When we actually do this with them, we give them these types of supplies. We give them this whole bag of supplies that they get to work with, so they can come up with different ways
To ring the bell.
of ringing the bell. Right, exactly. So, because that's what the Eureka Inventors Camp is all about, is figuring out solutions to different problems. So, and this is just one activity that they do. They also get to figure out ways to survive on a desert island, and let's see, they also figure out ways of making a sled work. There's all sorts of really cool activities that they do where they have to use their brain and use their creativity to figure out solutions to problems. So, all right, here we go. This is what I'm attempting to do in my miniature Rube Goldberg contraption to ring the bell. I'm going to drop this marble through this tube, which is going to hit the foam ball. Hopefully it will land on this end of the fly swatter, which will lift it up just enough in order to ring our bell right here. Let me just make sure that I'm setting myself up for success there. Okay, here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! I rung the bell. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Can you confirm that I did ring the bell? Okay.
She did ring the bell.
I did actually ring the bell. All right. So,
Nice.
so that's how that works. And that's just one of the fun projects that we do in Eureka the Inventors Camp. So, what else do you want to know about?
How many kids are allowed to be in one camp?
That's a really good question. We take up to 20 campers in every camp. Sometimes we have camps with maybe 8 or 10 campers. It's always different every week.
And what's the age group? Does it matter, like, what camp is, like, what, or does it go from, like, age 12 to, does it go from age 12 to, like, 13 for all camps, or?
Got it. I think I understand. So every camp that we run, except for the preschool camp, is open to ages 6 to 12. So, and we have that whole age range of ages 6 to 12 working together in the same camp. And because our programs are very hands-on and very project-based, it works out really well for running a camp in this way with a variety of ages.
Does everyone at Mad Science have a nickname like you?
Yes, everybody has a Mad Science name, and we encourage the campers to come up with Mad Science names for themselves as well. And the campers all get a name badge like I had given you this morning with your awesome Ashley name badge, so they can write their science name on there. But we have some scientists named Nitro Nikki is the other owner of Mad Science. We have Brainy Rainy. We have Electron Ron.
How do you guys come up with these cool nicknames for Mad Science?
You know, when you're thinking about nothing but science all day long, you know, there's a lot of fun science words out there. So it's pretty easy. You know, we use a lot of alliteration. So if I was going to give you a science name, actually.
I was just going to ask you if you were going to give me Mad Science.
So I really like the word atomic. So I might call you Atomic Ashley. Do you like that name?
Yes.
That's a pretty good name. So yeah. So we usually will, you know, encourage the kids to come up with a word that, you know, starts with the same letter as their first name, and then there you have your science name.
Do you have any promotion things coming up, like besides the summer camp? Do you have anything other than the summer camp?
Yeah, well, during
like after school stuff.
Yeah. Well, during the school year, we run our after-school programs, but we will, you know, kind of start thinking about those in the middle of the summer. You know, when kids go back to school in September, we will be starting up our after-school programs again. But also in the summertime, we do a lot of science shows. We do a lot of shows at libraries, actually, and we actually have a show that's going to be happening at the library in Saco, just the next town nearby, at some point this summer. So those shows that we offer at libraries, and we also do some at fairs and festivals, those are open to the community. So that's a really great way for kids and families to get involved with what we do and see our programming. They're really fun performances that we offer in various locations.
Now, how would people get involved in Mad Science if they watch the show and they wanted to sign up? How would my viewers sign up? Do they call you guys? Do they go online?
Our registration is available online. We do have a website, which is right here. It's main.madscience.org, or they can give us a call at 878-2222. So yeah, parents can sign up either online or by calling. Sometimes with our camps, we partner with a local recreation department, so there are times where the registration would be taken through a local recreation department, but all that information, again, is on our website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You think we covered everything?
Well, I think we covered most stuff. The only other thing I didn't talk about was our Spy Academy camp, because we do have that camp
Sweet.
as well. And this is just a couple of really fun take-homes that we do in our Spy Academy camp. This is also a really popular camp, because kids will get to they'll get to explore decoding secret messages and figuring out mysteries, using secret spy tools to spy on people, like our spy robot that goes around on the floor with a camera, and you can be in the next room and listening and watching people in the other room,
Cool,
and they
without
don't
them
know
knowing.
that you're there. We also have a really fun spy tool that you have headphones and you can listen in on conversations from far away. And there's chemistry involved in the Spy Academy camp as well, because sometimes there's substances left behind in a crime scene, and you need to figure out what they are.
Now, which camp theme do you learn about electricity?
Oh, that's a good question. Robotics camp covers some electricity topics, because you have to learn about circuitry with that. Also, our engineering camp also covers some topics of electricity. And also our Mad About Science camp, which we hadn't talked about, covers topics of electricity.
That's
too.
part of the name, Mad Science.
Yeah, it is. Yep. We have a camp, we are called Mad Science, but we have a camp called Mad About Science. And this is a great camp, actually, if you're a child that doesn't know what topic that you're really interested in. This camp is great because it's a variety program.
That one cover like pretty much all these camps, or just?
No, it's actually different than all the rest of the camps for the most part, because we have a day that we're talking about the science of sport, which we don't talk about in any of our other camp programs. We have an Earth Awareness Day where they're learning about electricity, but in with renewable and non-renewable resources. They learn about wind power.
That kind of looks like a fan.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like a fan, but this is like a wind turbine. So if we went out in a really strong wind, which we don't have right now, but I can blow on this and it'll convert the wind energy into electrical energy to make the light up. So
That's cool.
do you see the light up? Do you want to give it a try?
I don't know if I can make the thing.
Blow on the blow on the blue fan part. Yeah, hold it right toward you so you. There you go.
Did
Nice.
it make
Yeah,
you light
you
up?
made it light up. That was awesome. Nice job.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was excellent.
I didn't know if I'd have enough wind power to light it up.
I know, but you did it, right? This is a really fun little grasshopper guy that has a solar panel on his back.
This one looked really cool when you showed me before the show.
Yeah, so this is part of our Earth Awareness Day in our Mad About Science camp. If we were out in the sun, we could just use the sun to power it, but I'm going to use a halogen bulb, and as I shine the halogen bulb on there, it converts the light energy, which is like the energy from the sun, and converting that into electrical energy that makes the grasshopper bounce around.
That's wicked cool.
Yeah. So there's lots of fun topics in our Mad About Science camp. One day they learn about cells, and they get to make their own.
Like cells of the body, or like different?
Yeah, well, different, like plant cells and then animal cells, and they get to make their own replica of an animal cell, where
cool.
they actually use similar
Flat.
substance to the slime. So we use the slime like the fluid that is in a cell, and then they put different items in there to represent different parts of the cell. So that's a really fun project that they do in the Mad About Science camp. So,
Sweet.
and one thing I also wanted to mention with our camps is that a lot of people think that just because we're doing science, that it's all done inside and done in a way that kids don't really get to run around and do active stuff in the summertime. But we actually have a lot of activities that we do are outside and they're active. For instance, in the robotics camp, we have a game where kids are acting out different parts of what a robot does. And we are going outside to launch rockets and going outside to play games that are related to the curriculum in different ways. So we have a really good variety of indoor science exploration and outdoor active games. So we definitely spend a lot of time outside, even though we are doing science-related stuff. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
You think we covered everything?
I think we did. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Ashley.
You're
This was a
welcome.
lot of
Thank you so
fun.
much for bringing your experiments and showing us how they work and stuff.
Yeah. Thanks.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you again.
Well, that's the end for today. Thank you so much for watching the Awesome Master Show, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Bye.
Ashley asked me if I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for her awesome show. Her show is cool and it's lots of fun, so get your popcorn ready, everyone. Who will she interview on her show today? The Jonas Brothers or Nick Lachey? It's the Awesome Ashley Show. The Awesome Ashley Show. The Awesome Ashley Show. La 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 la. Ashley asked me if I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for